Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're taking a look at some of the Chinese stocks. So without further ado, let's first start off with JD.com. So for JD, you can see that we actually did cross the 61.8% at 54.61. Unfortunately, we are rejected off the 78.6% at the $60 psychological resistance here, and you see many sellers appearing here. We did see a rejection of this particular high here. So for now, it's still hovering around this red baseline and this blue conversion line. So currently, this red baseline here is essentially the last support. If you start breaking down this red baseline at around 35.30, that would be not a very good sign for JD. And we also have to break up above this 57.50 at this blue conversion line for us to retest this $60 and potentially sending us to 67 or $68. Let's move on to the one listed in Hong Kong. So similar situation, we have yet to clear this blue conversion line. It's currently around 224. And this red baseline is around 212 levels. So we have to hold this 212, if not likely for us to come back down to test this cloud support level at around 200 and 210 levels. So you can see that this 229 is still a pretty strong resistance. And if we can't really cross this 240 levels, it's unlikely for us to retest the recent high of 254 or 255 levels. Let's move on to Baidu. So for Baidu, we are slightly weaker. You can see that we are being rejected off this critical resistance at 61.8%, 124.19. And ever since then, we are unable to claim back this recent high here. So looking at this red baseline here, you can see that it acted as a pretty strong support back then. And of course, on the way down, the cloud should also act as a pretty strong support. So currently now the first support that we're looking at is this blue conversion line at 112 levels, and after that it'll be around 108 levels, this red baseline here, which is a very critical support that we have to hold. Once again, if we can actually surpass this 124 and even break out above this critical resistance, then 137 is likely to be our next target if we can manage to clear this 130 psychological resistance. Let's look at the one listed in Hong Kong or 9888. So again, a similar situation, rejected off the 61.8% and around 119, 120 levels, come back to test this support at this rate baseline here at around 105 levels. So if we break it this time around, then of course the $100 psychological support is a very critical support that we have to hold. If we can break out above this recent high of 120, then potentially sending us to 130 levels. As of now, the blue conversion line is around 110 levels. So this is the first support before likely to be heading towards 105. So now for NetEase. So for NetEase seems to be consolidating and pushing sideways for now. And no surprise because we are in the cloud resistance. So it's likely for us to consolidate sideways before breaking out. So if we actually break out this $70 psychological resistance, which we have seems to be have broken out of this $70 resistance, we're looking towards 75.64 and potentially above the $80 psychological resistance or the recent high here at 81.78. That's it. Two critical support to watch will be around $71 at this blue conversion line. Second one will be the $70, which is the red baseline, also the psychological support level. Not forgetting on the way down, the cloud should act as a strong support before we can continue up to climb up further. Let's take a look at the one listed in Hong Kong or 9999. So a very similar situation. You can see that we are in the cloud resistance and we actually have already very much crossed this 61%, 1.6. So the next resistance will be around 119. And if you can even surpass the $120 psychological resistance, we're looking towards a recent high of 128.7. Two support to watch, we're around 112 and also 107 levels. Lastly, let's take a look at PDD or Pinduoduo. So PDD seems to be pulling back after we have closed this particular gap here, and we have yet to reclaim back this $90 psychological resistance, and seems to be pulling back quite a bit. But on this particular day here, you can see that this red baseline is acting as a pretty strong support around 78 or $79 here. So if we pull back down further, which seems to be likely to be pulling back further, what I want to see is that this previous high here around 71, $72 turning into a good support here. If we can turn this previous resistance turning into good support, then that will be a good sign for PDD to climb up even higher, the recent high of 95.58. So hopefully we can see more buyers stepping in, and if not, this pullback, if it's too big, and then it wouldn't be too healthy for the trend. So if there's any changes, I'll give you guys an update. Thanks for stopping by. Till we meet again. Appreciate the manipulation.